pointed out to you, whether this is just trying to direct your thinking to a specific way. I mean, like, you're not doing that critical thinking that you always talk about. And that's the whole point Daniel is trying to make.
Listen, everything is just an example. Look, I do research, all right? I haven't covered all the ground related to the Middle East. I'm sure that I'm missing a detail related to something. And I'm sure that the same could be said for y'all. So, me not knowing that doesn't make me feel any less certain about some of my positions on the Middle East. But as far as Al Jazeera is concerned, right, they might be a questionable organization. Nonetheless, that doesn't take away from the fact that during war, okay, sometimes it may be best for the stability of the state to control what the media shows to the public. To answer Simon's question, which is why, I think Al Jazeera came up before them. But in any case, I'm answering Simon's question that, yes, this is what the media has to do with war. This is what free speech has to do with war, all right? When, your citizens are perhaps on the verge of engaging in some sort of resistance that threatens the stability of your state, right? Then yes, you control media and you monitor with certain cultural influences.
You just contradicted yourself. You just said
your state. If it's not.
Okay, yeah, I was talking. Thanks.
If you're resisting your state,
Doc,
you're resisting.
This has nothing. Okay.
Doc, are you drunk, dude? Because if you are, you have no place in this stage. I don't like drunk people.
Okay. So yeah, you just contradicted yourself. On one hand, like you just said that there should be freedom of speech, but then on the other hand, you're also saying, yeah, but in times of war, it's okay for freedom of speech to be violated because the state doesn't like the speech that's being said.
Yeah, the word "should" specifically, I don't think I use it. But
yeah, you just said that.
Well, should I don't know, or rather I don't.
You literally just said that.
Okay, look, contradictions. There are exceptions.
Hold on.
No, there's no
exceptions. No problem.
No, there are exceptions.
See,
What's the principle?
Yes, there are exceptions.
The Constitution.
Okay, what are the exceptions?
The framework of our country.
Great example.
So
when
Hold
you
on.
have values.
what if aliens land?
Right, exactly. When you have values, you have to always make a balancing test. This is what the Supreme Court does. I don't know if you hang out in this country at all, Simon. But
I was there a lot.
Hold on, it doesn't matter. Just go ahead.
just so we understand that the Supreme Court will constantly be measuring one good against the other. It's called the balancing test. And if the value of one decision, for example, freedom of speech, is outweighed by, say, a danger to the republic, then they're going to choose to not.
Well, yeah, but it's not how it works.
Supreme Court does.
It is how it works.
That's not how it works.
Exactly how
It's not
What
there.
does this mean how it
The
works?
only speech
Yeah.
that is ever criminalized is because it is attached to a criminal activity that is considered already criminal. For example, yes.
No.
For example, a call for violence that ends up in someone actually, or it's an incitement for violence.
That's the
Which
incitement
that
standard.
but that in itself, it's already a crime. That in itself is
Speech that threatens the security of the state is obviously classified.
What do you mean the security of the state?
You realize there's no such thing as what you're saying, right? Like the
No,
entire
you're wrong.
to the Supreme
I'm
Court
very-
justice.
I'm very
No,
clear.
there is.
There are many
courts.
No, but I don't want to. How do we
And
define
many incentives to freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech is there precisely to be able to criticize the government.
I don't disagree.
To be able to be.
I don't disagree.
Correct. To be
But
able
if
to
something
be,
is judged to be a threat, then there is going to be a
yeah, and
decision as to whether it
who
should
judges
be free.
that?
The Supreme Court.
Who judges?
No, the Supreme Court doesn't do that. The
Of course
Supreme
it does.
Court is there to
It did it in
uphold
the
the
case of the Pentagon
Constitution.
Papers.
Oh my
The
God.
Supreme Court is there to defend the Constitution.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
and
right.
the
No,
Constitution.
not to defend it, to interpret it and to render decisions based on it. So in the case, for example, of the Pentagon Papers, they had to decide
that's a
whether the
contradiction.
first. It's not a contradiction. It's a decision.
Absolutely.
Hold on,
Okay, so
Okay.
here's a freedom of
There's
speech.
a
You're free
basically.
to speak.
there's a basic language issue that you don't understand. So we don't deal in absolutes. We deal in reality. We deal in humanity. So you can have freedom of speech, but sometimes the benefit of not allowing something to be made public outweighs the principle of the First Amendment freedom of speech.
No, it doesn't.
But it did. That was exactly why this case went to the Supreme Court.
Well, Norman,
And that's a contradiction.
Simon is a foreigner, so maybe he doesn't get.
Well, that's what I think.
If the speech is about incitement or creates
Well, if it's obscene, that's another exception.
I mean, there are cases when you limit, and also, by the way, the speech was not limited. An organization was banned. The speech was not limited.
So again, we can't, act as though what's going on in the Middle East isn't having a cultural impact on Americans. It's actually
You're changing the subject, Ish. We're talking about freedom of speech.
Okay, I don't care.
No, because we were not.
Yeah, this is a consequence of a subject matter that I brought up. It is what it is.
We're talking
He is the
about
one-
the concept
Simon,
of values.
He is the one bringing up against the banning of the press, and that is what triggered the whole thing on the freedom of speech. So that is what he's talking about. So no,
Okay,
it's
but that's
not.
not what he said. That's not what he
Yes,
said.
he said during times of war because you guys didn't listen.
That's not. Did you listen to what Ish just said? Did you listen to what Ish just said? He just
Yes,
said.
I did.
Okay, so then.
And you guys interrupted me.
What you just said has nothing to do with what he just said.
All right, no problem.
Okay, Ish, go ahead.
But nonetheless, all right, El Normo, I don't know why we're agreeing with each other. I don't see you as a brilliant mind, but
Whoa.
no, I'm just trolling.
Here's the question, but my issue, it derails the conversation when you go personal. Can you stay on?
I'm just trolling.
Yeah, but I understand, but try to hold yourself because it derails the conversation, and then we have to stop and address it, and no one has to respond. Let it go. Just try to stick to the conversation.
All right, no problem. But listen, there are a collective of Jews, right? Not just Jews, but it's important to mention that there are a collective of Jews, right?
Say juice, orange juice, mango juice, pineapple juice.
Just kick him. Not Ish, the other guy, whoever spoke.
They make it their mission to essentially affect things within government. All right, they'll go as far as to spend $25 million, right, to essentially
Go to
purchase
APEC now. You go to APEC.
purchase someone to speak. Hold on. When they
I'm just
purchase,
asking, are you talking about APEC?
Jesus, God.
Just let him finish so you can know what is he talking about.
I think it's changing the topic.
No, I'm not changing the topic, brother. When they purchase someone a seat, all right, they effectively purchase the policy. Okay, you are indebted to the individuals that brought you into office. And right now, right, there is certain speech that is considered unacceptable. It is considered a call to violence, right, and rhetoric that's prejudicial, like quoting the Bible and saying, ye Jews are of the synagogue of Satan. I'm quoting it loosely, okay? So,
Honey, that's never mentioned in the Bible. Where in the Bible is that?
listen, El Normo, can you find that for me? Someone knows what I'm talking
Why
about.
should anybody?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are we talking about now? We're talking about the Christian.
He's completely changing the entire topic. We're talking
Well, that I pointed that
the
out.
principle
before.
of free speech. I tried
Exactly,
to as well.
Simon. You're not following. He is saying that now there are rules banning what the Bible says, and that is a lie. But he is still talking about freedom of speech.
What I heard is in the UK there was someone that says fuck you Allah and he was sentenced to 18 months in prison.
Look, there's a scripture in the Bible, and I know because I heard Minister Louis Farrakhan say it, right? Something about the synagogue of Satan, okay? Like in the scripture specifically, it points out something about a fake Jew.
Okay, look for
That's
it.
like a Christian thing. That's a Christian
Look for it.
thing.
It's not a Christian.
Okay, so El Normo, you know what I'm talking about. You just identified it. You said it's a Christian thing.
Yeah,
Those-
Jazzy always screams it at the top of her lungs.
Okay, those scriptures, right?
Yeah.
They are now in consideration for banning within government, okay? And some
By
Christians
who?
are arguing that that is cultural discrimination.
Wait, by
It's not.
who? Who's considering that? Who's
I can show you
considering
the bill. All right, give me a second.
I asked the question, who's considering it?
Give me a second.
Okay. One.
Anyways, as Isa says.
Jesus.
I think it's interesting, like this Al Jazeera. Yeah, we can talk about the freedom of speech, but we can always go to another thing when you cannot put the spotlight on Israel when it's something that many other countries did, and there was not a fix. And this is also if you would do the search, it looks like only Israel. You need to specifically say exclude Israel in order to get any other result. Otherwise, at least the first 2 pages of the results will only talk about Israel. Until October 7th, like nothing happened in the world, and everything that happens is for the first time.
All right, so I found that link for you, Normal. All right, I'm gonna post the first one.
To ask you for a link, I said, who's considering outlawing the term synagogue of Satan?
The House of the United States. All right.
House?
Yes. We got the House.
You mean the House of Representatives?
Yes, we got the House. What you call that? The different branches of government.
Yes, Norm, this is right. They passed a bill, or they are thinking of passing a bill to prohibit any anti-Semitism or something like that, even if it's speech. And so, yeah, that's true.
Right.
We were talking about it like a month ago or something like that.
It doesn't have anything to do with the passage of the Bible.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm trying to show you. So if you click the link, I'll post it in the chat, right? It'll show you the international, the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, right? And they're using a certain organization. Hold on.
That's a great thing.
No problem. I'm not saying it isn't, right? They're using the International Holocaust Remembrance Organization definition of anti-Semitism, right? To define what it is.
The right one to use. Obama adopted that. That's the correct definition.
Okay, no problem. So I'm going to post the International Holocaust Remembrance and their definitions, their outline. Okay,
I'm very well aware of this.
All right, no problem.
Even though I'm not brilliant by your standards.
So this is considered anti-Semitism. I'm not sure how many people we got. It says to God the IHRA, the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, and its work, the following examples may serve as illustrations. Manifestations might include the targeting of the state of Israel conceived as a Jewish collective. However, criticism of Israel similar to that leveled against any other country cannot be regarded as anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitism frequently charges Jews with conspiring.
I can give you the criteria. I know I have them memorized. It's as if you hold Israel to a double standard if you demonize it or if you delegitimize it. It's called the 3 Ds. Ken Hoffman came up with them.
So it says, hold on, let's see. It says accusing the Jews as a people or Israel as a state of inventing or exaggerating the Holocaust, accusing citizens of being more loyal to Israel.
Yeah, that's dual loyalty, that's Holocaust denial. These are already things.
Hold on.
Why am I holding on?
Because I want to read you this example, right? And this is my last little example. Because this here could get everybody deported if that bill were to pass. But it says, yeah, that was a serious consideration. Let's deport immigrants who come here and, declare.
You want to get everybody deported, but you mean is undocumented immigrants? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, absolutely. Undocumented immigrants.
You're using a bunch of different things.
I'm not talking about American citizens, obviously. We're both American. I assumed you understood, but maybe you, I don't know.
No,
in any case,
say it.
All right,
I said getting everyone deported is what you said.
Of being more loyal to Israel or to the alleged priorities of Jews worldwide.
The dual loyalty conspiracy theory. We hear this, by the way, in black rooms every day.
Right. Listen, there are Jews who are more loyal to the state of Israel. That's just objectively true.
According to who? According to you? What right do you have to speak for the Jewish people? None.
What right do I have?
We need to get you back to focusing on Haiti, because you're talking about stuff you don't know anything about.
So hold on. Ish, I have another question for you on the same topic, and it relates to the double standard. What about politicians that are holding the Palestinian flag or saying that I will not run until the Palestinian causes this, and I will not do this until the Palestinian. Their loyalty is they're not just fighting; they're only fighting for Palestine, and I can give you names. They will wear the Palestinian flag and the Palestinian headbands and whatnot, and they're like politicians, and no one says a pips about their double loyalty. But when it's Israel, it's enough that someone is a Jew to blame him. So again, this double standard is the problem. Do you have problems with anyone that is coming from where does it stop? Or it's only the problem with Israel?
I don't think we should trust.
Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with everybody that has a dual citizenship, or just with Israel?
No, I don't
You want to
have
change? Yes.
Dual citizenship,
I
Daniel?
wasn't even.
I was just like,
No, there are people. I mean, you mean in the American Parliament? I don't know. In generally speaking, yes, there are.
and I don't know if anybody in Congress. Oh, most of these.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about Congress.
Yeah.
Can't be
Like,
here.
you lost your signal.
No, because you're speaking when he speaks, Al, and when you speak when he speaks, we cannot hear him.
Yeah, Ted Cruz, he made a response to Senator seat while being a Canadian citizen.
He's never a Canadian citizen. He was born to American parents in Canada. It makes him an American. That's a dumb thing he just said. He's actually Cuban, but he's an American citizen. Never been anything else. These dumb things, people are just dumb.
Okay, hold on. If he was born in Canada, he's a Canadian citizen.
No, it was born in Canada to American parents.
Okay, but if he was born in Canada, he's automatically a Canadian citizen if he was born in Canada.
He's an American citizen. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, so then he got American citizenship.
No, he got it automatically.
Born
He
in
was
Canada.
You're incorrect.
He was literally.
It's both.
Okay.
You don't know what you're
You
talking
can have both.
I
I
know
was born in Canada and I'm automatically a Canadian citizen.
Right.
My parents were one was born in Italy, one
Right.
was born in Morocco.
This
That
is
doesn't make me
irrelevant.
an Italian and Moroccan
No, it's
citizen instead of
irrelevant.
Canadian. I was born in Canada.
This is irrelevant. But think
But you're
about it.
saying something incorrect. If somebody
No,
is
I'm
born
not.
in Canada,
I'm
they
very
are
familiar with that.
have less than
I'm quite familiar with that.
Right now, this Canadian citizenship, I don't know. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you're saying that he was born with
makes sense.
because he was born to American parents in Canada, he was given birth. That's a different
But he's
question.
automatically a Canadian citizen if he was born in Canada.
I think he was born to American parents, but
It
he was
doesn't
American.
matter. He was born in
It doesn't
Canada.
matter much for American law.
He was given Canadian citizenship the second he was born. He can go
He was
get
born to
American
American
citizenship.
No.
You're gonna hold on. Both can be true. And this is what they're talking about, dual citizenship, that both apply. He's American and Canadian. I don't know specifically about him, but it could happen.
Renounced his citizenship in 2014. He renounced it in 2014. Okay, that's
He
one.
renounced it, but when he was born as a Canadian citizen. I don't understand why y'all want to argue.
Hold on, I heard my kids were born abroad. Guys, we are going down a rabbit hole that doesn't really matter. Ted Cruz is not the topic. Guys. No. I'm fighting the chat. The topic was about dual citizenship, and you started with Malcolm talking about the Jews. And I'm asking, if there's a problem, the United States should have a law that you are not allowed to be in Congress if you have dual citizenship. And it has nothing to do with Israel. Go and have a law, but it will apply to anyone. If you talk about allegiance, you look at Rashida Tlaib, for example. She's not Palestinian, but she's really working for the Palestinian issues, for the Palestinian cause, and she's not the only one. Having she is true. I don't know, maybe she is.
Oath of office.
Okay, she is.
Oath of office. She took it on the Quran, and she also took it as a Palestine thing. It was something with the Palestine that was related to her oath of office when she took it.
Daniel, imagine a Palestinian, right? Essentially getting his ideology into the highest seat within Israel. So what is all?
Malcolm, okay, let me help you out. Hold on, please. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Malcolm, I don't need to imagine this. Okay? Ahmed Tibi, you know who that is? He was the chairman of the Knesset. Go look who it is. Ofer Kasif, look who it is. He's also in the Knesset. This happens. They have allegiance not necessarily to Israel. You go to all their Twitter feeds, they only bash Israel. And they are in the Knesset. Ahmed Tibi is also was the chairman of the Knesset. So I don't need to imagine. Israel, it could happen. That is a democracy. So if you have a problem with it in the United States, do whatever limitations you want. But you don't need to be specific about Israel.
You can have people within government, but it's a false equivalency, right? What you just proposed, okay? I'm talking about the president, right?
He can also be president. I mean, actually, in Israel, it's easy. In Israel, you don't need to be a bipartisan because you could start a party tomorrow, okay, the Ish party, and if you have enough votes, you will go into the parliament. If you have enough votes, you'll be prime minister. It's that easy.
This is bullshit. I'm sorry, brother. I can't.
Watch your language.
Okay, it's bullshit because you cannot handle the truth. You can handle the truth.
Hold on. Didn't that Netanyahu make a law, right? And I'm quoting the law loosely here, but essentially self-determination, right, at the nationalist level is exclusive to the Jews within Israel. At the national
No, seriously, you don't understand the law.
I know.
I know the law, but listen, you bring something that is unrelated and then you want me to educate. We are talking about something that you brought about this dual citizenship or dual allegiance. And then you say, imagine this. And I'm telling you, I have imagined this. It happens in Israel. I agree. It doesn't happen in other places. You will never find a Jew in the Palestinian Authority parliament. I agree with this because that's apartheid. But in Israel, they are equal rights citizens, and we have 2 million Muslims. They also run to the Knesset, and they also some of them have allegiance to the Palestinian cause more than Israel. I don't need to imagine.
Dual allegiance, anyway. Like, isn't that what we're aiming for? Like everyone being in allegiance with everyone.
You're talking about
meaning it seems to me that in the modern political sense, politicians or leaders are treated like a role. And we understand that there's some human beings that have to go there. We select them based on, whatever racism or whatever low-level voting determines which person should be the leader representative. But in the end, he is a person. When we vote on him, that's when we determine where his allegiances lie. And just because he's loyal to America doesn't mean he's like a great leader. He can be awful. He can be loyal to the worst parts of America, right? Like Hitler was loyal to Germany. Is that the vision of the future we want in our elected officials? So, I don't get this point that, you came from the state of Iowa, so you're not loyal to the United States of America, and your parents came from Mexico, so you're not even loyal. Your parents came from Brazil, so you're not even loyal to North America, you're more loyal to South America, based upon determinations. Oh, yeah, and you were born in Canada, so I guess they have a claim on you. You've got maple syrup blood, right?
Look, whenever you have a country, right, you want to make sure that the citizens of your country have a stake in that country's development. Okay, this is just objectively true for any country you want to discuss. So if you think that there is perhaps a population, right, that is not here.
One second. I want to argue with your premise a little bit. Yes, that is true. Every citizen is personally invested in the safety and well-being of the state. But we don't need to encourage that. That's just a fact. If you live in America, you're concerned about America. Frankly, if you live on the planet Earth in the current day, you're probably concerned about America.
All right, but are you concerned about it in an unhealthy way?
Okay, the voters will decide this. This is a democracy. If voters will see that this person is working against American interests, they will not vote him again.
Yeah, they'll vote him out. Throw the bum out.
No, exactly. This is democracy. Who's deciding what is for the best interest or not? The voters. And this is why you have elections.
The Democratic Party, right? Kamala Harris has not really given forth a great platform. We have no idea what the hell she stands for because she doesn't stand for anything. She is a poster board for the deep pockets of whatever Democratic Party policy they have on the slate. And some Americans object to that style of rule. Some people are fine with like a poster boy, right? Like the King of England. We'll just elect that guy, and the Council of Intelligent Democrats will determine how the country runs. Some people prefer like a guy that's like right on his sleeve saying what he thinks. Because that guy, we understand. Like, I'm not putting the empty person Kamala Harris in whatever things we put in her head to say. I'm picking Donald Trump. I don't care what they write for him. He's not going to say that shit. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants. That's
All right,
like
but
the
that
person.
changes the fact that a lot of this culture that's being created as a result of the conflict going on in the Middle East, it's increasing anti-Semitism. Like,
You know
none of
how
that
many
changes
fucking
that.
Muslims are in America? There's like none.
That's not correct. It's actually
Hey,
more
I
Muslims.
know one.
It's actually more Muslims than it is Jews. They overtook the
That's
took us.
incorrect. There are half as many Muslims in America as there are
There's
Jews.
only like 1% of the population is Muslim.
There are no Muslims in America. Muslims is strictly an old world, primarily an Arabic world issue.
There's
In
about
Iran,
4.5.
Arabia,
There's
wait,
about hold on. There's about 4.5 million.
The Jews.
There's about four and a. There's about no. There's about four. No, there's about 4.5 million Muslims in America.
And then think about Canada. Canada's got a bunch.
Wait, what's a half a Muslim? How are you counting somebody that's
No, 4.5 million.
Well,
4.5 million. I know, not that.
That was a good joke. That was a good joke.
My point is, Islam is not a primary American issue. We're concerned about oil, and we have deep ties with some old states over there. So, like, we maintain it. Like, it's not a pressing issue. It's not anywhere close to immigration, or the internal struggle of abortion, or how to manage our monetary policy. They have nothing to do with any of the primary American topics. They are a side issue that we read when we drink our coffee in the morning.
Yeah, like America needs Saudi Arabia with the petrodollar. Maybe you know something. You can tell me something about that.
You know what? Who doesn't care about the petrodollar? The people that manage the entire fucking water system of the planet. America owns the earth. Okay, they've done it. It's fine. How they manage stuff? That's up to the
And how
future.
do they own that, Maxine?
But Mixed, just go back to the origin of the conversation, right? Anti-Semitism, free speech, right? Folks are a little less free in America thanks to the conflict going on in the Middle East.
What freedom
Because
would
the
you like? You want
Bullshit.
No, it's
Also
just
the
another
genocide of
stupid
Jews?
banner for kids to flock around rather than study for finals. That's all it is. Just
The
like they've had in
anti-Semitism
every generation.
program
And, you know, they're particularly
Okay.
picked up because of COVID.
Denying, hold on. It says, what you call it? Applying double standards by requiring of it a behavior not expected or demanded of any other democratic nation.
Yeah, that's a
this
basic
can
definition. That's one of the 3 Ds. It's a double standard. What about it?
It
Okay,
says,
so hold on, Ish. According to Ruth in the chat, and I don't know if this is true, the bill only applies to schools that receive federal funding. So this means that, I mean, not any adult, let's say, in the U.S. is actually ruled by this bill. I guess that its intention is just for teachers to not talk about that as part of the lectures or as part of what they teach kids, for example. Like, if you as a teacher do not believe in the Holocaust, and you as part of the history are changing the standards, you know, what is taught as part of the federal education system, then yeah, that should be illegal. I guess that's where the bill is going, but I don't know if anybody knows about it. Or if Ruth wants to come on stage to explain it, that would be amazing.
For example, in the Netherlands, it is by law you can go to jail if you deny the Holocaust.
Yeah, I know, but in Netherlands we don't have, in Europe we don't have freedom of speech. That is not.
Oh, we don't have freedom of speech in Europe, is that?
Yeah, we don't have freedom of
What
speech.
you described is a lot of
I read
freedom
a
of
little
speech.
bit about that law. Like, so basically, it just
Yes,
prevents a
in
great
Europe
hard
we do
person-
not have freedom of speech. Speech should always be allowed, and that is one thing that America has got super different from other countries. In Europe, if you say something against immigrants, you're gonna go to
No,
jail.
not true. No,
Yes,
you
I
can
live
say
in
everything about
Switzerland, I live in
You can say
Switzerland, I have lived in the
everything about
UK,
Give me
I
an
have
example.
lived in Spain, and I have
I'll give you an
traveled and
example.
spent a
Okay,
lot of
Tommy
time in
Robinson.
other
Tommy
countries.
Robinson.
United Kingdom.
you do not have freedom of speech in the Netherlands. Even if you want to believe you have, you don't, dude. That is not freedom of speech.
The only people we cannot talk about in Europe is the Jews. The Jews are protected by law.
That is not freedom of speech.
That is not freedom of
speech.
You can say anything about Muslims. You can say anything.
Correct. But
the Jews are protected by law.
In Germany.
That means you don't have. That means you don't have freedom of speech.
Correct.
Under freedom of speech laws, you should be able to criticize anyone.
In the UK, there's several people who have been convicted and going to prison.
Correct.
That's right. That's the point.
Yeah, Tommy
On
Robinson.
Islamophobia. On Islamophobia. Not on Jews.
Not Islamophobia.
Migrating.
No.
Migration.
He was
riots
telling
and
people
wars.
to become violent, and that is also.
No, there was a guy that was sent to jail. No, there was a guy. Hold on, there was a guy that sent to jail for 18 months because he said something. Fuck you, Allah.
Give me the proof. I don't believe it.
I will give you. One second. Give me a second. No. I said it. I will look it up.
There's almost 1,000 jails for teaching dogs to do the house.
But Issa, I was able to see what that law was about. It provides a framework for colleges just so if there's an incident of anti-Semitism to prove that they took action. Like basically something that they took the threat seriously. That's what it is.
Okay, so it's not really a bill that affects all citizens in the US. It is just in order to get a little bit of order in the schools. Because kids are just fighting each other and not really focusing on actually what matters, right? They're becoming very politicized.
Right. They just want to make it, because a lot of Jewish people felt like their rights weren't being enforced, or people didn't care about their safety, or no one cared about their issues, so they just wanted to make sure.
For the genocide of Jews on college campuses.
Yeah, exactly. Had people not really doing anything. And so
correct, that would be a call for violence. But
I put the link in the top. 1 second, just one sentence. It's one sentence. I put the link in the top for the story I was talking about.
Okay. Someone saying that they do not like the Jews. I mean, that's completely fine. It's freedom of fucking speech. And I would never agree for there to be a specific, let's say, anti-Semitic speech law. Because if it's not a call for violence or an incitement, a law like that would also trump onto other people's rights. And so you can never do something like that. And I would never support anything like that. I mean, I do believe that there needs to be a line, in which you're not able to threaten people because that draws violence, and your freedom of speech shouldn't represent violence for anyone else. They should be, every single Jew in the United States or around the world should feel free to practice their religion, to wear a kippah, to go into their synagogue without any threats. I mean, but the same way that any Christian should be able to do that, or any Muslim should be able to do that.
Isabel,
now,
can I react
you're getting in my face because I'm a Christian and you're threatening me that if I enter a church, you're going to kill me. That is a threat of violence. Yes. That is a crossing of my constitutional rights.
Exactly.
So that should be penalized, but not because you hurt my feelings.
Exactly. Can I react on Daniel? And I totally agree with you, Daniel. If you read the total article and not only the title, you will read that David Spring, he pleaded guilty to violent disorder after showed him at forefront the crowd while threatening and chanting at the officer. So he was not going to jail because of what he said. He went to jail because he was violent.
He was violent in what way?
Read the whole article.
I read the article.
Yeah, if you read the article, you can see that he went to jail because he pleaded guilty for a violent disorder and not.
What? Can you tell me what was the violent action that he did and what did he chant?
It's your article.
I understand.
Don't read only the title, please. So
I did read. Hold on. I didn't read just. I already said it 3 times. I read the article and I know what you're talking about. But if you read the article and you also said that he was arrested for being violent and for chanting, I'm asking you, what did you understand that he was chanting that he was arrested for.
No. Well, violent is something different from chanting. If you're being violent, that means.
Okay, can you tell me
So he went to jail because.
Are you guys talking about Tommy Robbins?
No.
So if this is your evidence,
I'm sorry.
we can throw it in the bin.
Can you put back the article, Daniel, because you removed it or someone else?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm not sure it's the same one. Hold on. No, it's the same one, but it says, hold on. I'll put this one and I will find the other one, which was from the Guardian. This I didn't read yet, I'm just but I'm trying to get to the actual court.
Daniel, are you familiar with in Europe with men burning Qurans and there's nothing happening to them?
Okay, that doesn't.
Even in the UK, the UK
and the US,
that doesn't prove.
the
You're
US
saying
is
someone
neither
went to jail because he said "fuck Allah." That's read the total article, not only the title, please. Okay.
No. The Constitution, in theory, protects people from those things. The problem is that right now they're getting the lines are getting blurred. Because there's so much violence, and so the police is asking for them to kind of like take action, in the UK, and so they're going to the extreme, to the point where they get into people's Facebook, and if you said something that is not inciting for violence or whatever, you go to jail. And here in Switzerland, a couple of months ago, there was a guy talking about immigration. He was giving a presentation, and I think it was about the problems or the issues with uncontrolled immigration. And then all of a sudden, the lights went off, the police got into the room where he was delivering this speech or this presentation, and they arrested him because it was against immigrants. And so they didn't allow that to happen, which is absurd. So yeah, we are not as covered in Europe for freedom of speech as people are in the US. Here, you're not allowed to talk about the Holocaust or Hitler or whatever it is. And to me, it's mind-blowing, because it's part of history. People should be aware of it.
But Isabel,
and yeah.
Can you explain to me then why it is okay to talk, for example, about the Armenian Holocaust, but it is forbidden by law to talk about the Holocaust in Second World War?
That is what I am saying, though,
But why can we not talk about it?
Who said you cannot talk about the Holocaust? Sorry, what are you talking about? What country are you?
Like I said
not
before.
in public here, Daniel.
No, that is not true. Hold on, Isabel, hold on, that is not true. You can talk about not only you can talk, you're encouraged to talk about the Holocaust.
Wow. Do you know?
Okay, what you cannot do, he's talking about, but he was framing it as hold on,
but you cannot deny the Holocaust in the Second World War in the Netherlands, for example. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's left.
Well, that is not. You understand the difference because you said something else, and I was correcting you. You said you cannot talk about the Holocaust.
You may not deny the Holocaust in the Second World War. It's forbidden by law, but it is not forbidden by law to deny any other Holocaust. Why is that?
Listen, I think that laws happen. One second. I think that laws happen when you need to stop a phenomena or you want to control a phenomena. I'm not sure can you tell me about this phenomena that you're talking about, that people were kind of chanting, there was no, can you show me there's no point in creating a law or a rule that is not relevant. I don't see a reasoning for this. And
it is because they were trying to wipe out history and demonize, what happened or whatever. And so in Germany, you are in Germany, Daniel. You know that Germans are very, let's say very affected. They are.
Of course.
They are
sensitive
today. Still not allowed, or they're made feel super guilty even for things that they have not done. Well, it might have been their grandparents or whatever, but they feel super guilty about everything, and so they are incapable of speaking about immigration or incapable of speaking about the Holocaust because that shame is real in Germany. So I guess that what they're trying to prevent is from this narrative to kind of diminish what has happened, right? Because it wasn't actually that possible. Millions of people died, not only 6 million Jews, but also a lot more millions of people. So somebody that said that didn't happen is going to doing it's not doing
Had a lot of
a
blood.
favor to Europe or the history or the respect of the ones that we suffer there. So I guess that's the could be what he's trying to say, but I'm not sure because honestly I have never really read the law and I think that
justification is like basically gaslighting. It's like saying rapes didn't happen. You're not really looking for the truth. You're basically trying to kind of gaslight the victims here. But when it's the same
It's not forbidden by law.
again, you're doing like a hold on, Simon. You're doing
Well, the phone finally died, thank God.
who's denying that it happened?
No, he's talking to the principle of.
Yeah, but I think this is the problem when you talk about because there was a problem with a specific event that people are using and denying it in order to have like there's a reason behind it. It's not just like a philosophical debate that like a few people are doing, and this is why they did the law. Okay, it became a problem.
But again, you don't fix it by violating speech. That's what like
I understand, but sometimes when I think that in the West, you don't deal with the same thing, and I think that Germany wanted to, it happened in Germany, okay, and they want to make sure that it will not happen again in Germany. At the end, democracy and freedom of speech are great values, but they can also be used in a very bad way to harm freedom of speech and democracy.
Yes,
exactly that happened in Germany.
But that's exactly the justification to what everybody says about free speech. Like the society is going to be harmed because of this group of people, aka trans people, aka like Jews. What you can use it you can justify violating the free speech principle for whatever you want. I mean, the whole point is, regardless of the consequence, free speech is the principle. And
so what about the incitement of
violence? The principle, there is a logic behind it, and it is that the cost of having freedom of speech and having someone stupid saying a stupid thing will be much less than actually opening the door for people's judgment and on what should and should not be allowed to say. So there is a reasoning behind the freedom of speech. Yes, there could be some danger, but it is even more dangerous when someone controls the speech, because when someone controls the speech, you control people's thoughts. And when that happens, you have a tyranny and authoritarianism. So yeah, we know that allowing freedom of speech will have some stupid people saying crazy things and sometimes potentially being dangerous. But you're willing to face that for the not risking people's liberty. So yeah.
Right, because we have responsibility.
You can't have freedom of speech. So you can't have freedom of speech and the government dictating what you can or can't say.
Correct.
Like, it's a contradiction. Free speech is you're
be
allowed to say
absolute.
whatever you want. You can say whatever you want, free from the government.
Right.
Freedom of speech should be absolute.
You keep saying this.
Freedom of speech should be absolute unless your speech is calling for a specific violent act. You say, okay, everyone, right now, let's go to Daniel's house and kill him. That would be a call for violence.
Okay, but so let me say, Lisa, hold on. I want to challenge this. I want to challenge this for a second. If it's not a direct call for violence, but I would say, for example, all people in this group are animals, they are despicable, they are worthless, they are like bugs, they are like animals, they are worthless. I'm not calling to like you do you make up your own thing. I'm just gonna repeating on the news that this group of people are subhuman.
Yes,
can you
people do
space
this in
on
America
the
today. They call.
Yeah,
No,
but he knows a
Daniel,
lot about that. He
America,
knows
they
a lot
call-
about this
hold on,
subject.
hold on,
Daniel.
hold on. I'll give.
Daniel, right?
In
What's going on?
America, they
Hold on,
call
Alex.
black people. They call black people monkeys.
You go
Like
next.
like that's like basically like they still do that, and like nobody goes to jail. Like you have the right to be ignorant. Like
And
that's
you have
that's
the right
entire
to hate
point.
as well. You
Okay,
have the
let's say, okay, hold on, let me challenge this. Let's say that now they started, I don't want to use like let's say invent like I don't want to use like something that will trigger and talk.
Isabel, can you put
Okay,
the guy with the
they say that,
can you put him up, please? The guy with the Arabic letters in the.
No, you should stop dozing, stop interrupting.
What?
Daniel,
Yeah, but
hold on.
He's waving
because
he's
people,
waving, man.
but, okay, so we
Just
Let's say-
calm down and let Daniel speak.
let's say there was like a group of people and there was starting to be a rhetoric against them that they're subhuman, yada yada. And that rhetoric would sometimes, or like more and more, was translated to violent act. More and more and more and more and more.
Yeah, but
how would you stop it?
You should be able. No, listen. You cannot attach a violent act that was inspired by something they heard. And
I understand. So I'm saying, what will you do to stop it?
well, what you would do to stop it? No, you will not stop the speech. You will stop the violent act because.
No, you cannot. Isabel, I'm talking as an Israeli, okay?
So let me finish.
Okay, but tell me how will you stop it?
You are not going to tackle the speech. You're going to tackle the violent act. You're going to be like, okay, so who is responsible for the violence? Okay, it was Simon, because Simon decided to act on what Isa was saying. And he is the one that punched Daniel in the face for that. So he is the one responsible for his actions, not Isa, because he decided to act on Isa's opinion.
Okay, so every time someone will go and kill like 7 Guatemalans and shoot himself, we'll say, okay.
It is Simon committing the crime.
Okay, so we'll wait for the next time. How will you stop this phenomenon?
Wait for the next time. No, the other people looking at what happened to Simon, then McZahn.
No, Simon killed himself. Simon killed himself.
Okay, yeah. But then McZahn and Malcolm and Norm, they would be like, shit, I don't want to be blamed for that. And you're talking about right now like a suicide bomb, but I'm talking about someone that just goes and kills someone or hurts someone.
Yes.
The government's responsibility is not to prevent like people's actions. It's there. The government is there to act when people's rights are violated. So
I understand, Simon, but I'm asking. Okay, now on the TV, they're calling all the Guatemalans subhuman and yada yada yada, and on Twitter and everywhere, and journalists are talking about it, and you can see with the number that more and more attacks against Guatemalans are happening. So yes, you will arrest those. But the Guatemalans are now feeling in fear, and every day there are more attacks against Guatemalans. What do you do? I'm asking seriously.
I'm telling you, the people have to go in and arrest the people who are causing the violence. That's it. That's
what we call Daniel's argument? We call Daniel's argument the slippery.
Okay, you're going to go back to the audience. I'm sorry. So, Daniel, what we'll do is, for example, let's say CNN as a private company is platforming or inciting these things, you'll have a chat with CNN in order for them to think about it and think about the consequence. Then CNN would be the one making the decision, okay, shall we stop it, shall we not? But
they hate Guatemalans, they don't care.
But did you put them there, man?
But ultimately, the only responsible one for committing a crime is the crime doer.
I understand. You are right, Isabel. I'm not saying no, but I'm asking you as a government. You see that every day there are more and more attacks against Guatemalans. Everywhere in the country. Private citizens could be sometimes just a slap, sometimes it's more. But you see that the rhetorics actually, finds it an ear. And, someone takes a knife or takes a hammer or takes a whatever and does something.
I get where you're trying to go, but all I'm saying is that the way to fix that is
to
Not
actually
through
have law enforcement for people that have, as Simon says, the government is not there to prevent people from doing things. The government is there to punish those that have gone against your rights, that have
So
done
hold on. So let me ask you.
to violate
If I say,
This is the
so tell me one
stupidest
thing,
people in the
if you say,
world.
let's go kill the Guatemalans, I didn't kill them. I just
that's
said like,
that's an incitement for violence.
yes, why incitement violence like this is
Because
hold on,
you're
let me just finish the question.
You're saying you're going to go and kill someone.
No, not me. I'm saying they should die. All Guatemalans should die. What's the problem with this?
With tons of problems when you're pushing against anyone saying that only the person who's committing violence should be persecuted, because then it excludes all the people by whose orders people are executed. So when you have somebody like a mob leader ordering a killing, then only the person who commits the killing would be persecuted, not the mobster who actually.
No, that's incorrect.
That is correct. That's following your logic. That's
No, I'm saying no. The threat of violence is violence.
Andre, I have said it before. I don't know if you were in the room.
One more thing. I put all the exceptions for the freedom of speech. They have precedent. They're very well documented, and I would really highly recommend looking into them.
Andre, I know, but what I mean is that those times that something has happened, I mean, you, for example, me making a threat to Daniel, saying, Daniel, if you ever enter this place, or if you ever talk to that person, Andre, there you are. So if I am threatening you with my speech, and that speech violates your freedom, for example, don't go into that church, don't go into that synagogue, or if you enter, or if you ever speak to Simon, I'm going to kill you. That is a threat that is violating your own freedom. So that is penalized, not because of the speech, but because the consequences of that speech, that the immediate consequences. So I'm already doing crime. If I defame you and I say Andre is a pedophile, and then because of that thing that I said, you end up losing your job, not being able to get clients and whatever, and it has an actual repercussion in your life, then that would be the crime, not the speech, but that would be the crime, that I caused something to you. Now, if I say I hate Andre and I wish he was dead, and just because, I don't know, maybe little Johnny Walker is in love with me, and he's like, oh, well, he says wishes are my command, and he goes and kills you, I am not responsible for saying I wish Andre was dead. It is Johnny Walker, because he killed you. I am not responsible of how people interpret what I say. And that's where the line goes. What about what?
Lisa, what about, I wanted to go, what about if your freedom of speech is being violated to protect a certain group of people because they're protected? Meaning we have a certain group of people here in our country, the United States, that are a protected class, as if they're an endangered species. And it's okay that our freedom of speech is being infringed upon solely because you can't speak negatively about this class of people.
No, I think that is a violation of people's rights, and that should not be allowed.
I agree.
Group of people it is, because
I agree.
Let's say that this is about trans, right? So
right.
If you speak against trans people, oh my God, they're gonna disappear at some point. So the problem with doing that is that you open the door, you set a precedent for other people to ask for the exact same thing, until that goes so big that you're not able to talk about anyone.
Right. And don't you think that is going to happen?
It is going to happen if we allow it to happen. And so that's why I say freedom of speech should be absolutist, regardless of the small consequences that we might see from crazy people, because it's much more dangerous, and we will pay a much bigger price not doing so.
Right, but that is exactly
your free speech speech, though.
Hold on, I'll get to that point. Bello. Hold on. But that's exactly what's going on right now in my country. Our freedom of speech is actually being infringed upon to protect a certain group or two groups that intersect together. I mean, I don't need to say who the group of people. You can figure it out from that. He's already mentioned.
I'm gonna finish soon, Simon. Let me just and then I'm gonna mute up because I need to go take a shower. But
but he's already said it. And that's exactly what's happening now.
Free speech.
They are violating our free speech. They are
when you're telling people what they're not allowed to say. So yes, they are.
No,
yes, they are, Bello.
No, they're
Bello.
not. Free speech.
Bello, you cannot listen. You cannot listen. You cannot criticize.
Daniel, hold on. Let Simon say this because I don't think it's making any sense. What are you implying, Simon?
Okay, I mean, you said something about the trans, and then he said these are the people who are doing it. So this is why I'm asking.
Yes, those people. Those people that you just mentioned. I'm at the gym,
No, but they are not the ones doing it. The ones doing it is the government because they are applying the law enforcement in the wrong places.
Okay, so what should I say?
Yes.
And I'll go to jail. What would I say?
You cannot criticize.
Now, yeah, exactly. They are in the process of doing so. But right now, Danikas, you can say whatever you want against a tranny, although. For example,
it's being counted.
Like when somebody is saying words, it's like, oh my God, that is so offensive. It's like, no, dude.
Yeah, but Issa,
it's being counted. Bills that are being proposed. It doesn't mean that it's going to get into law.
But what you don't understand, Simon, it's not you, Isabella. What I'm saying to Simon is what he's not refusing, but what he doesn't seem to get is that it's being counted as it's being protected under the umbrella of quote-unquote hate speech. So you're not allowed to criticize anybody for any thing, even if it's not
What Simon is saying, Danikas, is that to this date, nobody is going to jail. Nobody has gone to jail because they said something offensive to anyone, at least not yet in the US. Now, they're trying to start with this by canceling you on platforms and doing all this stuff, for example, like we saw on Twitter before. And so the problem is that when the government allows people to cancel other people or because you call, I don't know, a tranny something, then they felt with the right to punch you in the face, and that punching in the face is not being punished, then that is the problem. I mean, they don't need to actually take Danikas to jail and put him behind bars. They just allow the tranny to be free, even though he punched him in the face just because of a comment that Danikas said. And so that is the problem. That is where passively the government is taking a stance against freedom of speech. You're right, Simon. They are not proactively putting people behind bars yet. But
I don't think they can.
Allow it.
There's
No,
the Constitution.
now they can't. They pass shit like hate speech.
No, but they have the Constitution and they cannot. Hold on, you have the freedom of speech and hate speech. Just one sentence. I mean, there's the Constitution with free speech and hate speech is allowed in the United States.
So there's a couple of problems going on. First of all, there's a nuanced understanding of what absolutism of free speech is, because you still have to go with the three most fundamental rights: for life, for
private property and agency. Yeah.
No, private property is not part of it. Pursuit of happiness encompasses private property as a means of gaining your life goals or whatever. But life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are the most fundamental ones. Out of that comes everything else, including the freedom of speech. And so, like, when I posted those things specifically so you can take a look at them, because, for example, defamation, it specifically implies giving misinformation that is harmful, physically harmful to a person. It does not say just, you cannot say whatever you want about a person. You can do that. you can do that. But if you do public, during like a public event or something that can possibly harm a person physically, that is completely different.
Correct.
So you need to be much more nuanced when you look at those things. And secondly, the understanding about like the way the lawsuit reinforced in the United States, there's absolutely nothing you cannot say about whichever group of people, unless, once again, you're inciting violence or some kind of criminal activity. So to say that your freedom of speech being curbed the same way as it's been in Canada, for example, is just it's false on face value. What is called? Yeah.
But Andre, to what you are saying, yes, I do agree, but that's the reason why I say that the law is enforced not necessarily on the speech, but on what it directly created. So, for example, okay, yeah, I will give you an example. So, let's say that I say, well, the previous example I gave you, Andre is a pedophile, Simon, and we're having a thing here on Clubhouse, and I say, yeah, dude, because I know you dated this 17-year-old when you were 18. I don't know. I start saying that you're a pedophile, right? But nobody here cares about you. Now, if I go to the press and I put out, no, but hold on. I mean, like, but no, but I mean is that it didn't really cause any harm. I said it.
Well,
I said, but let me finish my example, dude.
Put it pin to this because you're incorrect.
But yes, Andre, but hold on. It's causing maybe some distress and some.
No, if it costs me a job, I can file a lawsuit against you.
No, hold on. So I'm saying here in Clubhouse, I say it. Nothing happened. It just went for a 2-day gossip, and that's it. Nothing happened. But if I go to the press and I put out there that you are a pedophile, or I put on Twitter that has now a lot of reach, or I go to your LinkedIn and I make the claim that you're a pedophile, and because of that, you are fired. Your clients stop working with you. You're visited by the police. All of these consequences, then yes, I am liable for that because I created losses in you. I affected your life. I am trumping with your freedom of working, your freedom of doing business, etc.
Yeah. So listen, you're mostly right. The only thing I would add to whatever scenario you presented is, even if you said something on Clubhouse, right? And it's a limited, limited audience. But I can somehow prove that even speaking here is connected to me getting some kind of financial retribution, like losing my job or whatever. I can still file a lawsuit. It's all about
you can file a lawsuit, and that's
I just
fine.
wanted to put in that correction.
You could also file a lawsuit for me calling you an idiot, But the point here is that lawsuit would be much more difficult to enforce because there was no direct consequences after what I said. They could say, okay, where they were just having a fight or whatever, these both are idiots, we're not going to get into that drama. So you can put a lawsuit for anything in this world. But the point is how serious it's going to be taken.
Well, you just have to say something that leads to someone's damages if it's not true. That's it. That's like the entire criteria of defamation. As long as you said something to someone else, and if it's false and provable and led to damages, that's it. But again,
led to damages is the key.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
But that is not.
With
And that is the
Covington case.
That is the example that I was making. I know that there are instances in which speech has been linked to criminal activities, but the reason why they're being punished is not for the speech itself, but what the speech, specifically the speech, intentionally caused. And that is not saying, oh, I hate Andre and I wish he was dead. And again, someone coming and killing Andre because they're in love with me and my wish is their command.
yeah, that would be on them. I am not responsible for what happened to Andre just because I wish that he was dead.
Well, I mean, there are instances where if you say to someone, that's why it's important not to say.
Hi,
stuff like this,
Marvin.
Okay, you're going to the audience. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's instances where if you tell someone like go kill yourself and then they actually do it, then you are
correct,
liable for
but
that.
you are inciting someone.
Correct. No, but that's what I'm saying.
Or if I say to, I don't know, Simon, you're madly in love with me and you would do anything I want. And so I'm like, Simon, you need to go and kill Andre. That is different. I'm giving you an order that will result in Andre's death. So that, what I said, is what caused you to go, because I order it to you.
That's right.
But so again, the speech is never the cause of it. I don't know. I'm struggling with the words. I'm sorry, but it could be. But my point is that it's never really the speech that is the dangerous one. Is the action intended by that speech. And that is the reason why there are these three instances, like calling fire or that. It's not because it's forbidden or the words are demonized of like saying that there's a fire. No, it's because if you call fire, you will cause a panic and maybe people will die in a panic attack where there is 10,000 people, all trying to survive.
It's not illegal to call fire in the theater.
Well, but it's not, it's not the saying, oh, there's fire. That's not illegal. What's illegal is doing it in the circumstances where you
Correct.
will
Only if you cause damages.
Yeah.
If you say there's a fire and nobody does anything because nobody sees a fire, it's not illegal. But if I decide to get up off my seat, trip, fall, break my leg, then you're paying for the damages.
Correct.
That's how it works.
Correct.
Yeah. So just one thing, Jeff, can you talk, please?
I can talk.
Okay, so it's you. I just wanted to make sure it was not so much.
She was memorized by your PTO.
Oh, that's why it took so long. No, this is my alt. I gotta fix that today later.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say, I'm not actually participating in the conversation, but the way Isabel explained that harm is the only thing that matters was 100% correct. Everyone who clarified after the fact is remedial in nature, not adding anything to the conversation, and completely distracting from the conversation that you all were trying to have. I don't know why you all felt the need to bloviate and pretend Isabel wasn't clear, because she was 100% right from the beginning and clear.
I mean, she
said she was
thank
clear.
you, Jeff.
In your face, Simon.
Yo, Jeff,
She said it herself. She wasn't clear.
Jeff, I'm actually happy for you. You decided to show us, your real PTR. I'm proud of you, brother.
No problem. I know you're into the nipples.
So yeah, Daniel, I don't know if you've been paying attention or not, but going back to the conversation, is it okay to say that all Guatemalans are subhumans and that, I don't know, like they are horrible people? No, it's not cool. It's not nice. Would I feel sad or angry? Or yes, I would, because it's not cool. But am I the right to say to everyone that says that Guatemalans are animals and subhumans to put them behind bars? Well, I can try, but it will not go anywhere, and it should not go anywhere, because it's just ridiculous. Imagine if this is a little bit like this. Imagine that we really want to eradicate stealing in the world. So anyone that has ever stolen anything, we would put them in jail. What would happen? First of all, probably 70% of the population would be behind bars right now, because everybody, I included, might have stolen a chocolate, or a pen from an office, or something, or a bicycle, or whatever it is. Everybody has stolen someone's property at some point. If you have taken accidentally a lighter from someone, even if you didn't realize, or you took a pen from your office and took it home, that's fucking stealing. So imagine if we would be
opposite would be much higher than actually dealing with some stupid people that at some point have stolen something small in their lives, you know? So it's a risk evaluation. What is going to be more expensive? What is going to be more dangerous? That's the thing with freedom of speech.
No, I don't think our speech rights should be limited just because of some people with like weird tiny hats feel offended. I think it's like a horrible idea.
Yeah, but that is because I am guessing because of your name and your accent, and I'm sorry that I am being how do you say whatever judgmental. But I guess you're a Muslim, aren't you?
Does it matter?
Yes, it does.
Why does it matter?
I will tell you why it matters. It matters because the principles of that you rule yourself by are very different than the ones that I am talking about here.
You don't even know.
Yes. You are not able. You are not able.
My principles.
Hold on, because I know about the Quran, and I know that you are never allowed to go against anything that is stated in the Quran or the Prophet. And that in itself is already a violation of freedom of speech.
But it's the same thing with
I am not saying, hold on. I'm not
Okay.
saying you're right or I am wrong or I am right and you're wrong. I am saying it's difficult to have the conversation with someone that parts from a very different principle point of view than I do, because
But what are my principles? What are my principles?
Disagree. Clearly,
no, but you're just fucking assuming. What are my principles?
I am not assuming. I know.
Here, if I'm allowed to, am I?
You're making a big mistake. If that's Jabeli from Tunisia, he actually has no principle. So
That is Jabeli.
Oh, it's Jabeli.
I just have to
Am I allowed to say? Am I allowed to say fuck the prophet?
I have a very bad memory. I never remember the
Wait, let me answer the question.
That's okay.
Let me answer the question, Guatemalan woman. Whoa. Listen.
the only thing I'm pointing out is that like this is your view.
Oh, sorry.
Right? But you're not giving it a reason for you to take your view as opposed to other views.
No, I understand. No, Miller. I understand that. To be honest.
And it says the Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold. His eyelids try the children of men. David comforted himself in the earlier Psalm 10, verse 14. He says, you see it, Lord, for you behold iniquity and spite, to repay it with your hand. So near and far, there is no place to hide. God.
I'm a climate change activist, right? So like I care about the environment and stuff. So like I'm all about the global warming. As you know, like Donald Trump once said to Elon Musk, it's not global warming, it's nuclear warming. So I'm still gonna download my CNBC app. It's gonna be there. So thank you very much. I was an idiot, so I can see to the point where water does expand. No, I said I'm an idiot, so I conceded to that part.
Well, don't worry. You're amongst a bunch of idiots, Status. There's a lot of Jewish derangement syndrome in this room, a lot of anti-Semitism, a lot of Jew hate. It's everywhere. A lot of people in this room are going to have to apologize to Jesus Christ when they go to the pearly gates and say, sorry for being such a moron. I'm really stupid. It was my bad, Jesus. I hated the Jews. Oh man, that was fucking beautiful. That was fucking beautiful. Oh, I got that real good. Real fucking good. Got it real fucking good.
Shit. What's the according to the principle of sufficient reason, that's it. So according to the principle of sufficient reason, all need antecedent state that causes them the universe. You can't have what's it called? You can't have a spit it out, nigga. Right, I'm trying. You can't have you can't have an infinite regression, right? So like the principle of sufficient reason plus the fact that you can't have an infinite regression means that there must be a cause. You can like analyze what it means to be a cause of the universe, right? Such that like it come up with some attributes of God. That's a justified claim about God having those attributes, right? Because it doesn't matter if the argument is true, right? You're providing some justification that your interlocutor can disagree with or agree with, right? And that's different than just saying God is these attributes, right? Like God is the cause of the universe. That's an assertion, right? But if you give me the principle of sufficient reason plus lack of infinite regress, right? Then that's a justification for God having those properties. See the difference? You hear that?
He didn't say like, he said right.
Right? Like
a nervous titty.
Right?
He do it every time he speaks. Right?
I do it when I'm trying to think of a word.
No, you good. Someone was saying that you said like instead of right. I was like, nah, you said right.
I say both.
Oh my God.
He's a nervous titty. They're just like,
The point was taken. Parsing words.
Yeah, I want to make a comment. It's very simple. So, on the world of theists, you have different Abrahamic religions, and within each Abrahamic religion, Christians can live in Islamic states, and Islam can live in Christian states. And for years, the world has been galvanized under a sort of Abrahamic idea or a unified God theory. The concept that we're talking about now is that there's a possibility of growing numbers of atheists who are galvanizing under individualized
moral collectives. If you feel that this will provide an infrastructure
They kicked me.
for the global
Fucking
society
animals.
by adapting more and more atheist ideas, collective arguments, because as it stands today, there's nothing to make and scientific advancement other than the Abrahamic faith as it stands today. But I'm going to hear the caller who would like to try.
I would say that and I'm not even on the atheist side when it comes to like transhumanism and secular humanity or secular humanism. I'm sorry.
Okay, this is Adrian Dittman.
Do you live with chronic knee pain? As you age, the cartilage cushion in your knees naturally wears away.